All right, coming on in, jumping aboard. Shalom, salama, siemi, shalom. Greetings to all my Israelite brothers and sisters from around the world, whether of the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the house of Israel. We are Gentile grafted into the house under the blood of Yahushua HaMashiach. I welcome you this morning. So, got to be pretty quick this morning. I got to get to a training that's a little bit earlier today because it deals with mental health and with everything going on. I need to make sure that I see the signs of, some of my co-workers of different, ethnic backgrounds and varieties, you know. Hey, Bill. Hey, Carl. Is everything okay? Listen, Karis, you're one of the good ones. I suggest you run to your car. You don't have to say anymore. Have a nice life. No, just y'all out here all sorts of judgmental. No, you better understand. Look, I look for me. I always treat everybody with compassion. Look, and here's the thing. Here's the thing. Let the Most High sort all that out. That's not our job. Let the Most High sort all that out. And the Most High is doing a fantastic job of doing that right now. Hey, because when you come with a different approach and a mindset, look, there's nothing we can do with their judgment. Their judgment is here. The only thing that we can do is continue to be a light into these nations. Now, that doesn't mean that, I'm going to tell you this. Like I've said, if I say that I am going on a camping trip with about 6 of them and I'm the only black person there and I've left my final will and testimony, or I decide to go on a boating trip out to an island in the Gulf. They have little islands here, Honeymoon Island and other islands here. Then Brother Karras is somebody needs to call Brother Karras. Sister Shonda, Pastor Rick, call Brother Karras. Is he okay? He says he's going on a camping trip, on a boating trip. I met these friends online in a Reddit forum. they say that they don't like black people, but I'm here to change their mind. That's the cry for help. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, fam. I don't mean to be that ignorant this morning. But it's true. And, for a lot of our people, it is one of those things that you can have compassion, but you can be smart about it. It doesn't mean that you have to be all up there. Hey, yeah, all right. We'll be going on over to the barbecue. Yeah, come on over. You're going to be on the menu. What? Did I hear that right? No, I said we're going to have an excellent menu. Oh, okay. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so I replaced driving down I-75 looking at the Confederate flag every day just for these days and where I have to train, they have two of the biggest nudist colonies in my commute to work that I have to go by here in the Tampa Bay area. I laugh because these places have been featured in, all these reality TV shows and everything else. So I went from, hardcore vanity through white supremacy to another form of vanity through nudity and debauchery. Oh, yeah, you can't make that up. Right, it is one of those things that um as I tell people this, the other day I had woken up. I said, "Man, Father," I said, "I don't know if I can last long. I don't know if because I always have those types of thoughts. Am I going to get here? Am I going to get in trouble? Because I have a big mouth. If you didn't know that, I have a big mouth. My mouth gets me in trouble. My mouth got me in trouble with some of them folks. I didn't say anything wrong. I didn't say anything really too controversial, but because I am an outspoken black man, that's what as they call black man, I can present facts. I can go through and here's the information. You gotta remember, we're in an age where they don't care about facts. They don't. um, what they care about are dog whistles, and as I had tried to explain this to folks a while ago, because I know that it's tough. Look, not for us. We know this. We know this particular situation. But for them, they are trying to not I wouldn't even say this. They're not even trying to reconcile it. Because why? Because they believe the lie. They love not the truth and believe the lie. Didn't we cover this? We've been talking about a generation where we've explained this to them time and time and time again because now they're in the constructs of lawlessness. And it takes a lawless people to engage in lawlessness because quite simply they believe the lie. So follow me along this line with the construct. So before I go into this article, it's a Newsweek article about Donald Trump, of course, lying. Jared Kushner, his son-in-law, visiting Bibi Netanyahu, stating that, oh, these talks they take time. We're doing this, and Trump is basically stating what everybody else knows, but they are obviously loving the lie. And now the lie comes out. They don't care about the lie. It's the dog whistle because it is all about the continuation of white supremacy. And white supremacy is literally, it's falling on the sword. It's dying because it is vanity. It's vain imagination, as the word says, as the scripture says. And in this time, of what we're living in, as we have told the truth, people have run to the lie because all they can hold on to is the lie until their very last dying breath. And we've explained that in scripture, what is getting ready to happen, these sequential orders. Look, I don't care about how people feel or what people say. That's not my job. My job as a believer in Yahusha, my job as a follower of Yah and his law, statutes, and commandments, but they're made perfect. We can't even walk and talk and move unless we do it through Yahusha. My job is to explain these things to the people for the time that we have in this present era. I know that's hard to imagine because they don't explain to you all truly what took place over the Spanish Inquisition. Well, millions of black people left. No, I mean, not black people. I mean, they were Jews. I mean, they were Saracen. I mean, they were Sephardic. I mean, and they went to Africa. Okay. And now those mental gymnastics that they twist and contort themselves into is no longer working with a lot of people. And so when I tell people why this is all happening, I don't understand. I can't get it. It's happening because this was always a natural reaction to being exposed to a lie. It just took a little bit. It took about a decade for that flinch move to happen. Because I can surely tell you that when I woke up October 8th of 2016, could I have imagined that in less than 10 years this would have happened, and what has been happening has happened? This is the worst case scenario for this country ever. And the timing couldn't have been so much ripened. You have Xi that's going to fly in to the United States, basically going to tell Trump to his face, move your forces or we're going to move them. And by that time, you already know that they're going to try to bring in another ship into the Strait of Hormuz area, the Gulf of Oman, the Arabian Sea, and it's going to be told, you may not want to bring them there. It's probably a bad idea. Matter of fact, you may want to bring all of your ships home. You may want to bring all of your people home because it's not going to be a good idea. The era of colonialization is over. And I know that that's hard for people to even reconcile. Well, how could that happen? How is it that, oh, yeah, they used to have bases here all over the world from the United States, one of the biggest military countries ever besides Rome. And Rome couldn't hold a candle. So when I explain these things to people, it sounds very far-fetched. I can't see that happening. And then when it happens, oh wow, people get awestruck. Well, we said it was going to happen because why? Because I'm not testifying on my accord or on my account. I know nothing. God knows everything. And guess what? Yah put it in his word. Second Thessalonians chapter 2. Now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Alua, Yahushua HaMashiach, and by our gathering unto him, that ye be not shaken or soon shaken in mind, or be troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter as from us, as that the day of Yahusha is at hand. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first. And it's funny because Jacob has been teaching on this, but I have to really kind of drill into that because again, this is I'm speaking here to you all Gentiles for the most part. And that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called Elohim, or that is worshipped. See, he's worshipped because, oh, my people know, they love me. We can see that. So that he, as Elohim, sitteth in the temple of Elohim. Why do you think they want to do their big old project? I don't think it's going to come to fruition. They're going to try. Showing himself that he is Elohim. So, I always look at that image where he looks in the sky. I am the chosen one. He put the AI images on out there. I'm just saying. How many more examples do we need? Well, let's go on. I don't have that much time here. Remember ye not that when I was with you, I was yet with you, I told you these things. For now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. Why is he being revealed in this time? Because we've woken up. We've started to come to our senses in the lands of our captivity. The spirit of Yahuwah had been released on his people in the lands of captivity, that we started to get up, we started to question things. Now, as I had stated a while ago, because we got up, now the enemy is at work. Because why? Because don't get it twisted. What the enemy is trying to do, the enemy is trying to devour as many people as they can. Doesn't matter if you're Hebrew, doesn't matter if you're Gentile. Look, hell hath what? Enlarged itself. That's what the scriptures are saying. Hell is doing that. Why? Because they're trying to drive people into all sorts of lies and deceits so that when they perish, they have no ability to escape. They're in the grave. This is the spring fundraising drive to literally collect souls. That's what Hasatan and his minions are doing. He's already has a willing army, Gentiles. They've already shown everything that they've done with Molech and Baal and everything else. Well, oh, that was a bad thing. Oh, that's not good. And then they just glazed over it. Next, on to the next thing. See, if you understand their mannerisms, then you start to realize, oh, they're in on it too. Because they are. And they had been. This is how this captivity has worked for these last almost 2 centuries. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who know, or who now letteth, will let until he be taken out of the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom Yahuwah shall consume with the spirit of his mouth and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause shall Yahuwah send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned, who believeth not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. Hallelujah. So I just wanted to share that real quick, because now you're starting to see how things are shaping up with their quote unquote, this is their Messiah. Don't get it twisted. This is it. From Newsweek, Donald Trump contradicts our advisor Jared Kushner on Iran. Where talks stand. President Donald Trump said that the United States is not in talks with Iran after the two nations' memorandum of understanding expired, with little signs of progress in ending the 6-month war. So you understand that Trump said a day ago that they were in talks with the IRGC behind the scenes. The IRGC came on and said he's lying. We're about to get on this offensive. Because why? Because now what the IRGC is getting ready to do, they're getting ready to kick out, yes, to kick out all of the military forces, U.S. forces, out of the region. Inevitably, the colony there in the Eastern Mediterranean nation will have to leave. Where they will return to, either Argentina or Ukraine. I don't think South Africa or Kenya, I don't think that's going to be on the table. Will they try to do it? They may, but it'll be very long. It'll be very short lived. Because again, there's not going to be a quote unquote military power per se that will be able to enforce the elements of white supremacy. That's what the U.S. military is all about. Because without an arm, it's an arms race, weapons, then the ability to colonize, which is what these nations have been. Look, I don't care what you want to say. We're still oppressed. We're still in the land of our captivities. We are. Now, do some of us have a little bit more special free privileges and tokens? A little. But go ahead and step outside of that, and you'll realize just how limited you are. Says the naval blockade remains in full force and effect. The Hormuz Strait is open and operating. All water mines have been removed or detonated. And that's the lie, because again, ships are getting fired on. And you have to understand, I thought I was sharing this with Newsweek. So here's the Newsweek. Here's all this going on. I just shared this. This is as of yesterday, published yesterday. And then updated yesterday evening from a Tom O'Connor. The comment appeared to contradict the president's advisor and son-in-law, Jared Kushner, who told Fox News on Monday that the U.S. and Iran continue to have communications. He said Trump was waiting to make the right deal when the right deal is ready. But we are having Very positive and active conversation. So they're lying. Everybody's lying. And the quotations are off, but I'm a stickler for that. Sorry. Let me go back. Second Thessalonians chapter 10. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish. We're looking at a dead nation walking because they received not the love of the truth that they might be saved. No, this isn't, oh, well, I'm going to go on out there and proselytize Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. No, we told you who we were. Actually, we told you who we are. We told you where we came from. We told you why we're in this captivity, and you all said nothing. And we said, just wait. Judgment's coming for you. It's coming for this land. And you all said nothing. You all did nothing. And what you all responded with, by and large, this is the United States, was more lynchings, more unexplained debts, but don't worry, the Most High is accounting for it. All of his little ones, his precious little ones. So you can try to hide the blood of your hands, just like your father. And guess what? We know this is a dead nation walking. That they might be saved. Look, we're telling you the truth that you might be saved. Will you be saved? Probably not. I have to be truthful. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. Yeah, it doesn't win me any followers and any likes, and it even messes up my monetization. But I'm going to tell you the truth. Because why? Second Thessalonians chapter 10, or Second Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 10. And for this cause, Yahuwah shall send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie. I think what we've just read in Newsweek, and these are, it's not just Newsweek, these are other sources, these are other folks that are saying it, that they should believe a lie. And now you're here, and folks are here in this spirit of Babylon, the spirit of confusion. And look, I don't care how your analysis goes. Your analysis is your analysis, but I'm going to tell you this. I believe that the analysis that I provide is top rate because guess what? Because there's scripture to it. Go ahead, testify on your own. The Most High is going to make you look real stupid. Well, I had a feeling that this was going on. Yeah, because everybody was waking up. You probably woke up, but you wanted to live in your lie. Look, that's not just with them, that's also with us. Don't get it twisted. Because why? What's the consequence? That they all might be damned who believe not the truth. Why? The Most High saying, look, y'all are going to be dead nation walking. Because why? Because they had pleasure in unrighteousness. I didn't say that. The word says it. I'm showing you the word. You can believe it or not, but I'm going to tell you this. Believe me when I tell you we don't have much time left. Because why? Because now we see it. Now we recognize it. Now we're looking at it. And guess what they're having behind the scenes? They're having these discussions. Hey, you got to get this thing open. We try to play your game. If you don't have it done by this, and this, these folks are going to be fighting. I want to bring this on up before I close. Told you I only had a short little whiles. This is from CBS News. Remember, I was telling you about how the weather had been around here. I was looking at this. I was on my way home yesterday. Okay, give me a second, because all right. Well, yeah. Let me get out of this. Let me hurry up and present this and get out of this website, because this website is crashing my browser. Oh my goodness. Okay, here we go. So I don't live in Miami. I live in Tampa. However, Miami and Tampa, we get a little bit of the same type of weather. Miami's traditionally about 2 to 3 degrees hotter. But yesterday, I think we both hit record highs here in the state of Florida in our respective areas. But I'm just bringing this on up because um, with this from CBSNews.com, Miami hits 100 degrees, tying all-time record high temperatures held for 84 years by David Warren and Nick Marianos. As of yesterday, August 18th, a next weather alert remains in effect until 7 p.m. Tuesday as dangerous heat built up across South Florida feels like temperatures that climbed well above 100 degrees. So they're taking in for heat index. A west wind was keeping the metro area under the heat Tuesday, preventing the ocean breeze from developing along the coast without the daily cooling influence. Temperatures soared well into the 90s on Tuesday afternoon. That's the sea breeze. And if you don't get the sea breeze, your humidity just kind of climbs up, stays in the atmosphere, and it creates an impact, an effect. It's like, you know, it superheats. It's almost like miniature little glass filters that superheat. And yes, fires can get caused in this type of weather, especially if they're reflecting from the mirrors or glass onto from the car onto a dry patch of land. Yes, it is. I've seen many brush fire start off like that, even in just regular parking lots. That's crazy. So as I'm driving home yesterday, I'm looking at that also because I'm like, this is crazy. The day before, my temperature gauge was at 100 degrees for about 20 minutes of my commute. That was Monday. Yesterday, my temperature gauge stayed around 99 degrees. And you have to understand 99 degrees with at least 60 to 70% humidity. That hurts and that is very dangerous. Usually, I'll walk in those conditions because I would see and know that the sea breeze is building up. So it would be really, it'll stay hot. Then 2, 3, you feel the winds, and about 4 or 5, it's raining, and things start to really cool down. That's not happening. These are some very dry conditions that Again, as I tell people, it's not just that the climate is changing, this judgment is here. And we've explained that this judgment is here. We've shown that this judgment is here. But again, nobody in Babylon wanted to listen. We would have healed Babylon. She refused to be healed. She refused it. So I'm not going to cry over spilt milk. I'm not. All I can say is this: we did our jobs. No matter what it cost us, professionally, personally, relationship wise, family wise, no matter what it costs, we did our jobs. Because till that very day, to that very hour, they're going to deny everything. And then guess what? How can you save somebody where it's like, well, are you even genuine? Because you're saying something now because you now feel it. I can't help you. You saw this whole time, but you didn't want to say anything? You can't help anybody like that. No, because I know your heart's not right. And what that means is that if I help you, you're just going to trample and run over me. That puts me in a more precarious situation of danger than anything else. That's what's happening. So that's all I got for your family. I got to get up on out of here a little earlier than usual. I will be on tomorrow. I think I would say about 3:15. I gotta figure on out how that schedule is going to work. So I'll shoot for 3:15 Eastern Standard Time, not 3:15 in the not 3:15 um in the morning. No, 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 no. Although that's what time I had woken up at. Hallelujah. And so that's why I say, family, keep me up in your prayers, so that I don't say the wrong thing, upset the wrong people. I need the Ruach Hakodesh to be with me. Father, you talk, because if I say the wrong thing, that's why y'all being judged. Huh? What does that mean, Dr. Copeland? The black folks would be agreeing with me, even though there's only like out of 100 plus teachers, there's only like 10 black people. I'm like, oh boy, I'm back to the minority. See, I was in the hood. I was in the hood. I was in the hood. I was in my little C school, C plus, C plus. We almost made it to a B. We were a C plus school, almost made it to a B. Now I'm in an A plus school, and I'm like, oh boy. Let me see if my Apple Watch can spritz up those mayonnaise sandwiches. No, I haven't seen what's happening in Dearborn, Michigan. Again, you all have a little bit more. There's so many things going on. Look, Ghana is really connecting their ties with AES, as I had stated. They're doing that right now because you have to understand, Muhammad's about to make a big announcement in less than 40 some days. I would say 30 some days, technically speaking, less than 5 weeks. So he's going to try to shore up as much support as he can. And I got to get going on in here. I can't be tardy, then that's a bad look. But yeah, this is happening. Oh, man. Well, you know what? It's a large protest. Okay. All right. And again, that's not really our problem. So no, I'm an actual classroom teacher, authentic Israelite. So they said, "Oh, all right, we think you can trust you." Ha ha! You've been duped. No. You let an Israelite into the classroom. Now I got your children's minds. That's what they think about us. It's kind of interesting. Well, be safe, Sister Cindy Lou. Definitely be safe because again, they're going to try to they want us to get involved in their fighting because they know that, to be quite honest, their time is running short. Just like with me, I'm running short because I got to get up on out of here. And with that said, family, thank you again for your prayers. Thank you for supporting this channel. Um, I am here on a Florida teacher salary. You can go look it on up as the state of Florida. So your help, it does go a long way. Um, with keeping this channel on. It's not just this channel. It's also what I do in the background to help support different things and efforts. Making phone calls, getting on WhatsApp. Doing all these things. There's a cost, right? And that cost is something that in business it is called opportunity cost. So the more I'm talking, the less I can, find other high paying jobs or, gig jobs, gig economy work because I'm trying to use Google Translate to to coordinate things. So that's all I gotta say, family. Please again keep me in your prayers. And with that, um check for me tomorrow. I'll definitely have the thumbnail and everything up for the 315, and we'll go from there. And hopefully I'll still have a voice left. so so with that said, family, um, shalom, salama, siemi, shalom, peace and blessings, Yasharel.